you're gonna ask me questions, right?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So this is Lindsay. We met. She watches the channel, and she came out. I don't think there's a time that we came down here to do something that she hasn't came out and donated some stuff, or just come by to show some love. She just came by, had a trunk full and a back full seat of blankets and clothing for men and women, boots and stuff like that we just drove around and gave out. And I'll let her tell some of her story for us. So your name for the camera? Just
Lindsay.
All right. This is Lindsay. How old are you, Lindsay? Excuse me for asking a woman her age.
35.
She's 35. And so how long have you been sober?
4 years.
All right. And what was your drug of choice?
Percocets.
All right. How did you get started?
I started because I had problems with my teeth, and I went to a dentist, and they gave me perks. And that was the first time I ever took a perk, and I was like, wow, I love the way it made me feel. I had felt so like outgoing, and I just loved it. Yeah. So then after that, it was all downhill. Like, I just would take them, and then I would like have like people that I knew get them, and I would just like be like, oh, my teeth still hurt, and then when I got, like hooked on the perks, I didn't even know I was hooked on them, and I would like beg anybody that had them, like, can I just get one? I took one perk 10 for a year and a half to go to sleep at night, because I had problems sleeping. I could not sleep.
And so you would just take it at night?
Yeah, just at night.
Okay.
And then my boyfriend, he had to go away for like a little while, so he was gone for like a year and a half. Well, when he was away, it was like good for me because it made me get my shit together. Like, I had a 2-year-old, I had support. So I got a job, and I was lucky. I got a really good job. I was working at Einstein Hospital, and so I was making good money. And then maybe like half a year into him being away, my apartment got robbed. So when my apartment got robbed, I moved in with my grandma. Now, while my boyfriend was away, his friends, all his boys, they tried to help or whatever, like as far as like with bills and all that stuff. Yeah. And they also helped a lot with getting me hooked on perks even more, because they would give me perks, free perks all the time. And then, so I was probably taking about 30 perk 10s a day. And then after we got robbed, I was like, I'm not staying here with my daughter. I moved in with my grandma. So now I have a good job, I'm getting a good paycheck, I have no bills. And I went in even harder. So I always kept it like, oxys were big then, but I felt like, because I was taking perks, it wasn't
as bad as oxys. Yeah.
So one day I couldn't get perks or whatever, and somebody was like, look, even 30s, they were like, I can give you a 30. So I would actually take my uncle, because he was like really old and he had like all these problems or whatever. I would steal my uncle's oxys and trade them for perk 30s. Yep. Because again, I didn't want to take the oxys because I felt like it was worse.
Yeah, there's a huge misconception with that, right? Isn't it crazy?
It's like mentally.
That we'd be like, I'm not fucking with oxys, but I'll take 3 perk 30s. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking with an oxy though.
Yeah. So, when my boyfriend came home, I was really bad on them, and then I couldn't do it no more. I just couldn't. So that's when I told everybody. I told my mom, my boyfriend, everything. I went away to Eagleville. That was my first time going away. I was probably, I don't know, my daughter was 3, 4 about. And I went away, and then I came home, and I was clean for about 4 years. So yeah, I was clean for 4 years. I relapsed with perks again. Shit was like going bad with me and my boyfriend. We were fighting all the time. So that was,
you think that was the cause of your relapse, just like dealing with stress?
Yeah, dealing with it. Okay. Yeah, just to deal with it. You guys probably gonna hit my car, but whatever. And then I went to Livingren, which is a very bougie rehab. And I was clean again after that. I don't really remember like the in between, but then about 5 years ago, I went to my last rehab, which was Eagleville again, and I got clean. And before, I never did like the NAAA thing or whatever. And this time, I'm like, it never worked, whatever, I'm not gonna do it, whatever. So this time I tried to do the NAAA thing, and I went to meetings, and I made like friends and stuff, and all that did for me was I made a lot of friends who relapsed, and then I started getting high with them. So I was getting high again. But I could not go back to rehab because my daughter now at the time, she was 9.
She was old enough.
Yeah, and when I left the last time, it was really hard on her, like really hard. I told her I was going away for work, and so I'm like, I can't. So I detoxed. Or no, I got on the Suboxone, and then I got weaned off of that, and then now I'm on the Vivitrol shot. And so yeah, so that was how I started and everything.
What do you think was the main, like, the thing that sort of sparked in your head that was like, I have to get clean?
My daughter. 100%.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know they say do it for yourself and everything. And yeah, you do have to do it for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you, but you have, my daughter, being that, like the first couple, I was in rehab 4 times. So the first 3 times, like, she didn't know. You know, I was just going away. She was little. She was at my mom's. So she was having, and I always went away in the summer. Yeah. So she was like down the street. She wasn't thinking about nothing. The last time I went away, she is very smart. And she actually, I told her I was going away for work again, because I worked at a hospital, so I was going away for work. And, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm like beet red. Can you like put a filter on my face?
You're fine. Yeah.
So then I would call her, and she, you know, every night we prayed every night. She was like very big. She couldn't go to sleep unless she prayed. We prayed together. Yeah. And, when I got home, she said to me, she asked me where I was again. I said, I told you I had to go to school to learn more about what I was doing. Yeah. And she was like, sorry. I'm probably like the worst interviewer person, but,
you're fine.
I'm having a heat stroke. Tell me if you get too cold, because
I'm always cold. I mean, I'm always I'm always hot. I always have my AC bumping.
So when I got home, of course, I was still telling her, like, you know, I was away for work. She comes to me the one day, and she's the type that keeps everything in. Well, she came to me the one day, and she told me, I know you were in rehab. And I'm like, how do you know that? Yeah. And she was like, well, I Googled the number you were calling from, and it was a hospital. And I was like, ew, okay. So I told her, I was like, look, I told her the truth, and I was like, you know, I got hooked on them because of the dentist and blah, 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 and everything. And she's like, okay, you know, I'm glad, you know, that you're truthful with me now or whatever. And she was about almost 10. So for 2 years, after she knew the truth, kids, they know. Like, I don't care if they are 2, 3, they know. Yeah, motherfucking right. Yeah, they definitely know.
They know when something's up. Their bullshit meter works.
Oh, yeah. So, now that she knew for a fact that I was doing something, she babysat me. Like, she would not sleep out nowhere because she wanted to be with me. If I had a drink and it was in, like, a cup, she would literally be like, Mom, can I have a drink of that? Just to pretend, and she would, like, just to smell it. And I wasn't even a drinker. Yeah. But if I looked funny, anything, she literally would not leave my side. So I had to take her to therapy and everything for it. And it killed me because I did that to her. You know what I mean? Like, I know I did that, and that's what keeps me clean, because I know how bad I hurt her. Like, it killed her.
I know that's the same thing with me with my kids. Like how you said, a lot of times people be like, you can't get clean for your kids. Maybe I can't get clean for them, but I can stay clean for them. You know, they help me to stay clean. I think initially we have to get clean for ourselves, and then there's certain stuff that we keep that keeps us clean.
Yeah.
You know? I definitely think that.
Yeah. And she like, and like now that she's like, I used to use her urine to pass like drug tests and stuff, and like at the time I was like, I would literally like, I never would come down here to like buy drugs. Like I could get them around the corner from where I lived, but when I became friends with people that were in NA and AA, they knew to come down here to get whatever they wanted. Yeah. So, and I would bring her with me sometimes down here, because the other girl, she had a daughter too, so we would be coming down here so that my friend I was with could pick her friend up or some shit. Yep. And she was like 12, and I'm like, I was doing it, and I'm like thinking, and I'm like, does she know? Like, she gotta know. Like, she's not stupid. And like, she would tell me later on, like, I don't really like this friend, or I don't like that friend. Like, she knows. Yeah. And she tells me, like, my friends that I have, like, I have three like best friends that I've been friends with for years, and the one, like, two of them, they drink like occasionally, like, you know, like normal people can. Yeah. And my one friend, she don't do shit. Like, she don't do anything. And my daughter tells me all the time, she's like, I love when you hang out with her because I don't have to worry about you. And that like kills me. Like, my daughter shouldn't have to worry about me. Yeah. She's gotten a lot better because she's seen, like, you know, like, for a while.
And we don't realize that how much damage we do until like later on, and we're trying to make amends for it. Yeah.
And that's all I can do. Like I try, and it's like we're like I'm not working right now, so I don't really have that much money. Like, when my boyfriend gives me money, or like I'll sell like makeup or whatever on Macari, with any little extra money, like, I'll buy her things, and it goes to her. And I know that does not make up for it. Like, material things don't make up for it, but I just feel like I owe her so much, and I want to do everything I can. Yeah. And like, it affects her so much though. Like, every night, like, she's in counseling now, and she's doing a lot better, but it was so bad because, like, I got really depressed last year, and when I got depressed, she got depressed, and I did like homeschooling for like that for 7th grade, from kindergarten and 6th grade, A's and B's. She's back in a regular school now. She got all A's and B's on her first report card. Okay. Like, she just did a 360 now that she cannot worry. Like, she's not worrying about me. Focus. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know, I think that's so important that we think about that stuff, like all the damage we're doing to our children when we're ripping and running in the streets. We think they don't know. We think nobody knows. We come out here looking like a fucking mess, nodding off and burning holes and shit with cigarettes, and looking like a fucking mess, and disappearing in the bathroom every 10 minutes, and think nobody knows, when we're not fooling nobody but ourselves. Absolutely. You know, the same way I walk around here and I see people fucked up, I'll be like, damn, that was me walking around thinking nobody knew what the fuck was going on with me. And I look like a mess. I'm talking to people, I'm tired, this was late night. Yep. You know, nah, nobody believes that shit. Except for me. I think I was the only one that believed my bullshit.
Exactly. My mom, and like, that's a big thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially if you relapsed a lot of times, people eventually, they're not going to trust you. Yep. So like, it bothered me so much when... I'm boring, Frank.
No, it's staying up till 4 a.m.
I know, you're crazy.
That's what it is.
Like, my mom, for example, like, if I really am tired now, I mean, she'll still be like, are you okay, or whatever. But my mom, like, she's one of those tough love type of people. Like, she'll straight tell me, she's like, I don't give a fuck about you, I care about my granddaughter. And that's just how she is. Like, that's how she shows her love, pretty much. And that's what I need, because I'm that type of person too. But for when I was getting high and stuff, like, after I stopped getting high, for, I want to say at least, because I'm 4 years clean, so for at least 2 years, she talked to me, but she just was like still disgusted by me. Like, she just didn't. Yeah.
And we have to expect that. You know what I mean? Because we burn a lot of bridges and hurt a lot of people. So
yeah,
we have to.
You can't expect them to just, you know.
Yep, it doesn't. You know, we didn't create those problems in a day, so they can't be fixed in a day. You know.
And I definitely noticed after like the time, these I definitely noticed after like these 4 years though, like, oh my god, like like one of my best friends, like she kind of like distanced herself after a while because she was just done with the bullshit. Like she stopped letting me take her daughter, and I just thought like she just didn't want me to take her daughter. I didn't know, and she finally told me, she was like, I knew you were getting high again, and I didn't want you to take her.
Yeah.
And she actually texted me the other day and was like, by the way, I just want you to know I'm so proud of you. This is the most normal you that, you know, that I remember so long. And like my mom will never be the type to be like, oh my god, I'm so proud of you. Like she will not do that, but she'll just say like her way of like her cold way of saying things. She's like, not I'm proud of you, but like she'll just be like, she'll give me things. Like if I ask to borrow $20 now, she doesn't sit here and question me. She'll give me the $20.
Yeah, and I have family like that too.
So that's definitely, it makes me feel so good. Like, and I can only keep doing. That's what keeps me clean. Like, but yeah.
Yep, I got family the same way. Well, I definitely thank you for sharing your story. I commend you on your recovery and where you're at now in life, and even speaking about your problems. Like we message all the time on DM, you know what I mean? And I was just telling Lauren, I was like, that's my buddy. I was like, you know, and that's good because everybody needs that, somebody that we can talk to that's not going to sugarcoat shit, you know what I mean? That's going to give us the best advice, whether we want to hear it or not, you know. I commend you. I'm proud of you. You know, it's dope where you're at, and it's beautiful to see, you know. And
it's awesome that I get to know him when he, you know, has like a couple million subscribers. I can be like, yeah, I know him. But yeah,
thank you, man. I thank you very much for your support, and I look forward to meeting your daughter and your boyfriend. Like I said, next time we come out here, when my wife comes out here, we could grab something to eat, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
you and my boyfriend would definitely hit it off right away.
Yeah, good.
He's just like, besides like the drug part, your story is like him pretty much.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
I look forward to it.
Thank you.
What's your daughter's name?
And if you don't like, you're not into the whole NAA thing, that's fine. But if you donate shit, I never realized how good it feels to do something like that. So, you know, when you like the season changes and you're changing your clothes over and you got stuff maybe don't fit you no more, donate it, and it just makes you feel so good, like so good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your daughter's name?
Gianna.
What's up, Gianna?
Yeah.
Better say what's up back too.
She was. She's sick of hearing about you though.
Right.
I'm like, come on, let's just watch. Like I bring her down here, like I'll drive by or whatever. She kind of gets sick of it, but there in school is nothing like they need to see this shit. Yeah. But she's just like, you know, she doesn't like to see it. Oh, this is what scares me big time. You did an interview with a kid who had rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah.
My daughter has rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, and addiction runs like really heavy on my side of the family and her father's side of the family. So it scares the shit out of me because she has arthritis. Yeah. And even like right now, she's like telling me like how her legs are hurting and her hands hurt. Yeah. And she takes like ibuprofen, but I'm just afraid like as she gets older, like,
it's gonna be something different.
Yeah, like I'm hoping like, you know, she can find other things. But she's very aware of it because of me and stuff like that. So I'm hoping like because she knows about it and stuff like that and she sees it firsthand.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Like like when we went to therapy, she was like, I don't want to take Xanax or nothing, and I'm like, oh hell no. So they gave her Zoloft to try because she was like having panic attacks really bad. And so I think her knowing and seeing it hopefully will like keep her away from that, you know what I mean? But yeah, when I seen that kid that had rheumatoid arthritis, I was like, oh my god.
And I'm sure by her learning more about your story and stuff like that'll help her. We could just provide our children with the best information possible, so when they're put in positions to make those decisions, they know what the right decision is.
Right, exactly.
You know, that's all we could do as parents, I believe.
Yeah.
And you know, God willing, that will be her when it comes time to make those decisions.
Yeah.
You know, I thank you very much, Lindsay.
Thank you.